Give a huge shout out to all of our sponsors this year. We had some good ones, man. Some sponsors that stood behind us the whole entire year. And I would like to take the time right now to go ahead on and bust them out and acknowledge them and say thank you very much. We're going to start off tonight with our good friends over at Urban Rides Magazine. Established in 2019, Daniel Roby and the guys started up Urban Rides Magazine to fill a little bit of a void in the motorcycle industry when it came to magazines. They are online and they are in print. So please go over to urbanridesmagazine.com or go over to Urban Rides Magazine on Facebook. What's up, Mr. Wingo? It's good to see you in the house. Next up is our good friends over at Squealing Pigs Audio, right here in Baytown, Texas. Mr. Lonnie Rebels owns Squealing Pigs Audio. They do custom full builds, they do paint, they do powder coat, they do custom stereo systems from mild to wild, anything you could want. Hook up with Lonnie Rebels at Squealing Pigs Audio right here on Facebook. Next up, good guys over at Level Up Audio Towers. And if you got the opportunity to go over to the after party, the Builders after party Friday this past Friday night, you got to experience a Level Up Audio Tower. And I will tell you right now, those things are amazing. You got to go check them out on Facebook at Level Up Audio Towers on Facebook. Tell them the grind sent you. Next up is our good friends over at Trulers. Trulers.com, Trulers on Facebook. Either way, you can get to them. If you are a custom painter or a seat guy, you need these products. They help you keep your lines straight. They help you keep your lines true. They help you keep everything perfect when you're doing symmetry-styled work. Anyway, go check them out at Trulers.com and tell them Kevin with the grind sent you. Next up is our good friends over at Indiana Thunder Roads Magazine. I just got 4 copies of their current magazines and stuff, and I'll tell you what, those things are very impressive. They cover everything from the rallies to bike builders. They have articles, anything you could possibly want, plus they're a really good quality magazine. Go check them out at Indiana Thunder Roads Magazine. Let's go over here and, where'd it go? Oh, there they are right there. So let's start out with the man himself, Mr. Gary Dubois, over at J&D Custom Chrome and Polishing. All right. So let's jump off into this real quick. I would like to give a big shout out to our 3 judges that were able to make it, and one judge that was not able to make it beyond his control for reasons beyond his control. I would like to first thank Mr. Patrick Cooper. Thank you, Patrick, for coming down there, spending 2 days and making this stuff happen and doing your best job to judge these bikes, judge the paint, and handle business. I want to thank Curly. It was such an honor to have you guys there and doing stuff and judging these bikes, and the time and the effort you guys put into it. Stellar performance. Amazing judges. I want to thank Mr. Chris Moose for driving down at 5 a.m. in the morning in the cold on his motorcycle and hauling ass to get here to Galveston Saturday morning. These guys, just to give you all an insight, these 3 judges took the time, and I've judged a bike show before, and I had to judge like maybe 25, 30 bikes. And I had one other guy helping me do it, and we judged all those bikes in about an hour and a half. It took these guys almost 3.5 hours to judge 5 bikes. If you don't think they went over those bikes with a fine-tooth comb, you are crazy. It's amazing the detail, getting under the bikes, talking to the builders, spending time way more than the 3 minutes I allotted, but I thought it would only be fair. Spend as much time as you need with the builders, discuss what they were doing, how they did it, why they did it, the reasons they did it, all this, that, and the other. It gave the judges a lot more insight into the bikes than I had initially expected. I'm glad it happened, but that's a testament. It takes 3.5 hours to judge 5 bikes. That means there's a lot. There's 45 minutes almost with each bike in that build off. So you got everybody give those guys a huge pat on the back, man. It's they did a fabulous job. To all of my friends, Troy, Donald, Jared, Shannon, Tom, my wife, my son, Devin, thank you guys for coming out. Thank you guys for supporting me through the weekend. As you know, it was hectic. Thank you, Uncle Bruno and Miss Sharon. I appreciate you guys and all the help you guys did. Thank you, Dina, John. I appreciate you guys. It took a team. Everybody pulled together to help me get this show going. Without all of you guys, it would have been a lot worse than it was. Not that it was bad, but it's my show stands to get a lot better. But I wanted to give a huge shout out to you guys and say thank you very much. I want to thank all of the other vendors that were around us for basically putting up with us, because we were a handful at times on Friday and Saturday. It was good to be accepted by a lot of people. It was good to be helped by a lot of people. It really impacted me, and I just want to say thank you to everybody. I appreciate that. Now, let's go over the show real quick. So, if you're not from Galveston, you wouldn't have an idea what I'm talking about. But basically, I was in a parking lot in the corner, pinched. I had a 10 by 20 booth. We made it work, man. We were packed in there like sardines, but everybody pulled together. All the guys over at Shy South, the guys over at Convict, thank you for bringing out your swag. Thanks for setting up in the booth. I hope you guys sold some swag. I really do. Thank you for participating. James Ozzie, I want to reach out to you especially. Thank you for actually bringing that bike. Even though you were disqualified right in the very beginning, thank you for being man enough to push the bike in. Thank you for being man enough to let it sit there all day. Thank you for being man enough to participate all day. It shows a lot of character, knowing the minute you get there, you're disqualified, but you still follow through. I thank you for that. That shows a lot about you, sir. Your bike was beautiful in person. It doesn't photograph as well as it does in person. That bike was truly badass, in my opinion. Now we're going to get down to the meat and the potatoes of this show, and I will be bringing a couple of people on tonight. Let me start this whole thing out with this right here. Anybody that has followed this show for any length of time knows I started this show in January of 2018, and I did it because a friend of mine had gotten messed over by a painter. And I went live and I called the painter out. I called him out by name to help my friend out, get his money back, and address some issues. This show never started out to be anything that it's even remotely close to. It was basically called The Grind, simply because I grind hard. I work hard. I stay busy. And those of you that know me now that are meeting me, y'all know I have a full-time day job. I am a novice bike builder, so I do 1, maybe 2 bikes a year. I do this show every Thursday night. I spend time with my family. I go to the gym, which I haven't been able to spend hardly any time at the gym this year. And you can tell it. I look much thinner now, but that's okay, man. Between the psoriasis issues I've had, the COVID issues I've had, the freeze that we had, I mean, it was just a bad year for me. Not a bad year as far as in general, but it was just a very time restrained year for me. So the reason I say this is because I had an idea that I wanted to bring back bike building. I didn't care about trophies. I didn't care about monies. I didn't care about a whole lot of things. What I cared about was meeting builders, introducing builders to builders, and bringing back what I think the motorcycle industry needed. I have met a lot of good friends along the way. I don't want to cut anybody out, but I will tell you this, man, I have met a lot of solid people coast to coast because of this show. People that you could just damn near call family. I've also made some enemies since I've been doing this, but I think that's par. But the people that I do meet, I try to be honest. I try to be fair. I try to do whatever I can for them. And I've been told before, you know, why do you try so hard to help people out? They're never going to do that for you. I don't help people in looking to get something in return. I help people out because I like and enjoy seeing people prosper, no matter who you are. If you're one of the few people that has done me wrong, and I can give you a list of 4 people right now since I started this shit that have done me wrong, but I'm not going to do that. I still wish you nothing but the best. You just won't ever sit at my table and break bread with me. That's just the end of that. So, I know everybody's here for a specific reason. I'm torn. I'll be real honest with you. I'm torn because I hate talking shit about people. So I'm not going to talk shit. I'm just going to give you facts. That's all I'm going to do. I'm going to ask everybody, if you feel like talking shit, calling people names, dude, do it in private. Please don't put shitty comments on here. You can agree with me. You can disagree with me. Just be respectful. That's all I'm asking. So, as everybody knows, we started out with 10 builders this year. Let me get my list. I have it right here. So we started out initially with 8 builders. By March 1st, the deadline. We added 2 more builders. The first person we added was Shannon Fleischman. The second person we added was James Ozzie. Okay. I know because I've gone back and looked, and some of the other builders have gone back and looked and watched videos. That's exactly what happened. I left it up to everybody that was participating. Y'all choose. If you guys want to let these guys in, man, that's on y'all, not me, because my deadline date was March 1st. I stuck to it, but I also wanted to get as much money for the winners as I possibly could. So all of you guys in the message board, I put it in front of the builders, and I put it in front of the judges. And you guys all agreed that you were going to let Shannon Fleischman in after the deadline date. You guys also agreed you were going to let James Ozzie in after the deadline date. So that's on y'all. So FYI, here's my piece of paper with the builders. And you can see it's not new. I've had this piece of paper the whole time, and you can see I've written information on it. I put t-shirt sizes on it. I've done everything. And you can see right here, before we added James Ozzie, the winner was 15,000. And right down here, it said 7,500. I can go back to videos and show you where I showed you this piece of paper repeatedly. So let's fast forward just a little bit. So Thursday night, well, actually, let me back up to Wednesday. Wednesday night, me and Uncle Bruno went down to Galveston, set the booth up. Everything was good. We came home. As soon as I got home, the Galveston rally called me and said, hey, my tent blew up, or it blew over. So me and Uncle Bruno turned right back around, hauled ass back to Galveston, set the tent back up, secured it, and everything. And then we left there about 7:30 at night and got home about 8:20, 8:30. We all got up Thursday morning, headed to Galveston, set up everything, got the bikes unloaded, and then we ended up just hanging out because everybody was exhausted, just tired. You know, jet lag for Uncle Bruno and Miss Sharon. Stacy was busy because she had to do some work for her job. So we all just kind of hung out. Well, Thursday night, oh, and let me say, Earl ended up driving down there. He pulled in right when we pulled into the beach house. So Thursday night, we were all hungry, and it was like, hey, man, let's go out to eat. So while we were going out to eat, I don't remember if I called him or he called me, but TD Ward called me or I called him, but we got in contact. And I said, hey, look, we're going over here to the gumbo factory or the gumbo place, whatever it's called. Hey, y'all want to go eat with us? Come on. They agreed. So we went in, we sat down, and then TD Ward and his two buddies, Don and Barry, came walking in, and they sat down with us, and we were eating dinner. At dinner, and you can ask everybody at the table, at dinner, TD Ward, or actually I told TD Ward, I said, man, do you know, I think something's very odd. And he said, well, what is that? I said, well, if you look at it, there's 3 builders in the chopper bobber class, and that's $7,500. But yet there's only 3 builders competing in the bagger softail class, but that class is getting $17,500. The reason I said that is because I was trying to make a point that in the beginning of all this, I said clear as day, when you pay your money, there's no refunds. I don't care what happens in your life. I don't care anything. And it was very callous for me to say that. But the truth of the matter was, I wanted you to know that if you couldn't get your bike done or you couldn't get to Galveston, you forfeited your money. You forfeited your right to compete, but your money stayed. Well, when I told him that, he was like, well, why don't you just split the money? And I was like, man, I don't think I can do that because the rules clearly stated that you can't do that, that, you know, 17,500 was going to the bagger softail class and 7,500 was going to the chopper bobber class. So anyway, TD Ward and I sat there and we discussed it. Now, if anybody knows me, I don't like to argue about stuff with my show. And in the past, I've been accused of my show being rigged. So I was like, nah, man, I'm going to have to sit with the rules, but I'm just going to have to talk about it. And I told him I might ask a couple of the other builders later in private. Well, Thursday night, after we got done eating dinner, we all went back to the Hotel Galvez, which was where TD Ward and his buddies were staying. So we get there, and TD Ward and them aren't there yet because they were walking. And, of course, we drove, so we got there faster. We went to the bar, ordered some drinks, sat down at a table, and a little bit later, TD and his friends walked up. Of course, his friend Barry stayed at the bar because he didn't want to, I guess he just wanted to be at the bar. But his friend Don came down and sat right beside me. Well, TD Ward was sitting across from me. Well, then all of a sudden you get this guy walk up in a blue hat and a flannel shirt, and lo and behold, it's David Covington, because I had made a post on Facebook saying, hey, we're posted up at the Hotel Galvez. Come have a drink with us. Well, David Covington comes in and he sits down to my left. And I said, hold on. Don't look at TD Ward because he's sitting across from me. David Covington, I have a question for you. There's 3 builders in the chopper bobber class, and there's only 3 competing in your class. Do you think I should put all the money together and split it 50-50 since there's only 3 competing in that class and 3 competing in this class? David Covington's exact words were, man, I was here to compete for the 17,500. I think you need to leave it the way it is, the way the rules stated. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And I dropped it right there. Well, TD Ward still wanted to talk about it a little bit. And I was, at that point in time, I was already drinking and I didn't want to talk about it. So we just hung out. We had a good time. We ended up talking about his bike. And then at that point in time, me and TD Ward walked outside. And we went outside and he let me see the bike in the trailer. And I was just floored. It was beautiful, beautiful bike. And when he was in there, he told me, because I asked him what all this, that, and the other. And he told me, he said, Brendan Thompson built my fenders and built my gas tank. And he told me a story about Brendan because Brendan had made that gas tank for somebody else and the customer kind of got sideways with him. So he ended up keeping the gas tank. Well, it just so happened it was the kind of gas tank that TD Ward wanted. So I was like, well, that's cool. Brendan's a badass dude. That guy can fabricate. He makes some badass stuff. As a matter of fact, the gas tank that's on the Rockstar, I bought one of his kits and I built the gas tank with his kit on the Rockstar. I love that dude stuff. He's badass. So then we go back inside, have some more drinks, and then we all disperse. So TD and his 2 buddies go up to their hotel room, and me and Stacy and Uncle Bruno and Sharon and Earl, we all went our way. So the next day gets here. Oh, I told them also I'd like to have them at the booth on Friday. And he asked me what time to be at the booth Friday. And I said, well, hey, look, there's no real reason to be at the booth other than just exposure. I'd like for you to come bring the bike and set it up at the booth so that, patrons can come by. They can take pictures with you. They can, you can sell your t-shirts and hats and, just get to know and let the people see what you've got. Well, TD said he didn't want to do that he wasn't bringing the bike out until Saturday of the competition. And I was like, well, that's cool. That's your choice. I'm not making it mandatory. So just come on whenever you want to. So anyway, so let's fast forward to Friday morning. Friday morning gets there. We all get to the booth. We set the booth up. We're hanging out. TD Ward is already there. So we're hanging out, and I see TD with his 2 friends, Barry and Don, and they talk to me for just a couple of minutes, and then they leave. They're gone the whole day. David Covington was sitting there. His bike was already posted up, so he stayed for the majority of the day, just hanging out, talking with us. He walked around some, and then he'd come back to the booth, and we were just having a good time, man. We had some t-shirts. We got the lanyards. Thank you, Joshua Brooks, for the lanyards. They were badass, and I still have some. If anybody wants to buy one, you can buy the lanyards from me. They're still $10, but there's no party to go to. You can have it for memorabilia. Anyway, so we're all hanging out. Well, everybody's coming by. They're buying the lanyards, having a kick-ass time. All the guys from Shy South are there. They're running around selling lanyards. They're meeting people, talking to people. We're all having a good time. Saturday night, 7 o'clock, it's time for me to go over to the party. So I roll out. I go over to the party. Park our bikes. My best friend Troy, he's on my Blue Bagger, and I'm on the Rockstar. And we roll up. We park the bikes, and Mr. Daniel Parrish has got the Level Up audio tower already posted up, and it's already banging. And they've got the bar set up outside. And man, this is going to be really, really cool. Really cool. Well, Mr. Ricky Brewer got a hold of me right before we packed the booth up Friday night and handed me a bag of dicks. Just a little bag. And it was a joke, and I loved it, and I thought it was awesome. So when we get to the party, I'm showing everybody the little bag of dicks, and I'm still handing out the builders lanyards to the builders and letting them know that the guys over at the Daiquiri Timeout set a bar up outside for us so that all the drinks were free. Well, TD ends up getting there, and he asked me, he goes, well, where's the builder's lanyards? I give him one, and he goes, well, can my 2 friends have some? And I told him, I was like, I want to give the rest of the builders their lanyards first, make sure everybody gets their lanyards and gets their stuff. And I noticed, I was like, well, hold on, I have a lot more. And since 4 builders didn't show up, I said, yeah, you know what, man, I'll go in and give your buddies lanyards so they can drink for free also. So when I did that, no big deal. I gave TD Ward and his 2 buddies lanyards that would take care of their drinks for the whole night. So I'm hanging out and I'm having a good time and I'm talking to everybody. And Derek, the upgrade Bolden, comes rolling up on that neon green badass bike. And, you know, everything's going good. The stereo's pumping. People are drinking, having a good time. Logan Black and his family are there. His mom and dad are freaking awesome people, man. Everybody's just having a good time. Well, TD Ward text messaged me and just basically texted me that they were inside and that when he went outside, he asked the bartender if he could get a drink from him of sorts, and that the bartender got shitty with him or something. And TD Ward was gonna, you know, had said he wanted to pop him in the mouth or something. And I've got it all on text message, but it's irrelevant. So he said, you know, that was junk whiskey out there, that, you know, the Maker's Mark wasn't good enough for them. So he was going to go inside and buy real alcohol. So he went inside with his guys, and that's what they did. I was like, you know, whatever, dude. I mean, that's all I could afford. I thought I did a good thing. I mean, it was free alcohol, it was free drinks. It wasn't, you know, an open bar with everything you could possibly want in it. No, but I mean, you know, the Daiquiri Timeout, Maker's Mark, and a couple of other people were gracious enough to help out with this. Free is free, you know, be gracious. But there was never a thank you. There was never, hey, man, I really appreciate you doing this for me. All he did was get upset because it wasn't what he wanted. So I didn't get mad. I was like, that's cool, man. Go inside and buy your drinks then. It's all good. I'm not upset. So they go inside and they stay inside the whole night. Well, I ended up going inside after an hour or two and said, hey, man, come outside. I want you to meet Brian Barber. So I took him outside. He met Brian Barber. Everything was cool. Everything was fine. Next thing I know, Brian Barber's gone. Brian and Heather are out the door. They're gone, man. Well, apparently they went over to the Strand, and that's a whole nother show, so don't even get me started on all that shit. Anyway, later on, I never see, I guess because I was drinking and having a good time, I wasn't paying attention to who was coming and going. My wife was having a good time. All my friends were there supporting me. My son and his girlfriend, Ashley, were there supporting me. It was a really kick-ass night. The next morning, Saturday, I asked everybody to get there by 10 a.m. So I wake up at 7, take a shower, and I boogie over to the show, open the tent up, make sure everything's going. Well, I asked my wife if she could stop on her way in and get us some taquitos and stuff, and she did, you know. So when I got there, TD Ward was already there. He was already at the booth, had his bike staged up the way he wanted to put it, where he wanted to put it. Other builders started rolling in, placed their bikes where they wanted them. I think we had to move one. But then James Ozie's pushing his bike in. I actually have a video of it because I wanted to document it, that I wasn't disqualifying him. He had to be disqualified. So I videotaped him pushing the bike in. He nosed it in. And then I asked him, I was like, hey, bro, do you think you could turn your bike around? I know it's going to be hard because it's not running, but just turn it around so we can at least stage it right. So he did. And I asked him when he staged his bike, I was like, does it run? And he goes, no, man, I can't get it running. And he told me the issues he was having. And I was like, man, that really sucks, dude. But you do realize I have to disqualify you right now for that, right? And he goes, yes, I do. And he was cool about it. He was so cool about it. I expected him to get an attitude, throw a fit, anything, but he didn't. He was very cool about it. He understood the rules. He understood you had to ride that bitch in. Well, the whole day, well, I don't want to say the whole day, the whole morning, I was very nervous because I was waiting on Curly and I was waiting on Chris Moose to get there, and I wanted them there at 10, but it didn't happen. They were running late. Well, TD Ward on Thursday night, we got to meet Dave Perowitz, and they were talking about the show and everything. And TD Ward made a mention that he wanted to put his bike in the show. Well, Friday, when everybody was asking me what time to be there Saturday, I said, well, if we can get everybody there by 10 a.m., there's only 5 bikes. I don't think it's going to take that long. Maybe we can get you guys out of here quick enough so that you guys can go over to the Cycle Source show after the fact and win a trophy. Well, things beyond my fucking control happened. And Curly couldn't get there on time, and he's a grown man. I don't own him. I didn't pay him to be there. He was gracious enough to take the time out of his busy schedule to come all the way here, judge this show, and he felt bad. And I've got text messages from him where he is busting his ass to get there. I've got text messages from Chris Moose. He was busting his ass. He didn't leave his house till 5:30 in the morning up north of Dallas to get here. And he was running late. I mean, it's 5.5, 6 hour drive on a motorcycle in the cold. He's hauling ass. Well, later on in the afternoon, I got wind that TD Ward and his 2 buddies were complaining. They were complaining because they wanted to hurry up and get over to the Cycle Source show. And I was like, man, I get it. I totally understand that. And I even had a conversation with Chris Moose when he first got there, when he finally got there. And I was like, hey, man, all these guys are kind of upset with me. And I should not have said all the guys, because it wasn't all the guys. I just said that just because I said it. It was just TD Ward and his 2 friends. They were upset because they wanted to hurry this thing up and get over to the other show to win a trophy. Because I am who I am, I didn't get upset about that. I tried to put myself in their shoes and tried to understand, yes, I'm here to win a lot of money, but as important as this show is and this money is, I want to go over to the other show and I want to win a trophy. But as the day went on, I started getting wind of TD Ward and Barry and Don talking shit about me. I don't know what all they said, because I don't need details. The fact that you're upset, the fact that you're talking crap, that's enough for me. I don't need details. I knew he was upset. I felt bad for him because he wasn't getting everything he wanted, and I felt like I had disappointed people because it all didn't go as smooth as fucking goose shit. But you know what? It's the bike world. Nothing goes smooth as goose shit. There's always headaches. Shit happens. So finally, after I'm going to guesstimate 3.5 hours, Curly, Chris, and Patrick were done judging 5 bikes. 5 bikes. Comes to the thing, as you all know, and I've said it and I'll say it again right this motherfucking second, I am a novice builder. I wanted to make a trophy from American Drag Seats, where it is right there, American Drag Seats, and give that trophy. And it was not a best of show trophy. It wasn't a People's Choice trophy. It was a trophy from me to the bike that I looked at. And I'll tell everybody now, the bike that I felt like had the most creativity and heart in it. Okay. The reason that I picked that bike, it's nobody's business why I picked it. I loved every single bike that was there. But for my personal reasons, I chose Shy South. Now, everybody, and I'm talking to everybody, look at the comments. You can see everybody's got more details. Everybody has details that revolve around TD Ward, Barry, whatever his fucking last name is, and Don. Now, I have nothing bad to say about the guys because I don't know those guys. But the one person I do, or I think I knew, was TD Ward. It was a punch in the gut to me to find out when it was all said and done with that you won $7,500 in your class, that you were talking smack about me. That right there was such a huge slap in the face. And there's other details I was going to bring up, but I'm not going to because they're irrelevant details, but there's more to it. And I hate to say it, but it broke my heart to know that somebody for the last 2.5 years, I have been putting on a fucking pedestal to everybody, putting them on a pedestal. But he was the one that had an issue with me. He had such an issue with me that after he received his $7,500, he shook my hand. I didn't see him again. He left, gone. Lo and behold, the day finishes off. Everybody had a good time. I was talking to the builders, taking pictures with the builders. I was doing everything with everybody else. Everybody else was so gracious. Everybody else said thank you to me. Everybody else hugged me. Everybody else was appreciative of what I did. And I'm not talking about just the builders. I'm talking about the general public. I'm talking about the fucking owner of the Lone Star Rally herself. I don't know if anybody knows this, but I found out Sunday, or actually Saturday evening, I found out if you go check this show that I put on for the first time with no help, and when I mean no help, I mean nobody's direction. This is what you're supposed to do. This is how you're supposed to do it. I hold the record right now today as the highest paying cash prize, even though it was combined, highest paying cash prize in America. Now, I don't know, but I've heard that there's an IMA show in Germany that the highest amount they give out is $20,000. So to know that I did this just like that with no assistance, I'm okay. I'm okay. And I thank everybody that appreciated what I did this year. When I drove home Sunday, I started getting messages and people were thanking me. People were being nice. But then all of a sudden, I get a text message from Earl Hopkins. And I'm going to read you guys the text message because this is where everything started and went south for me. Hold on, I got to find it. I've got a lot of messages because in the last 5 days, my phone has fucking blown up. My phone begged me, quit pushing buttons. It hurts. That's how much I've gotten. So I'm going to tell you right now, Sunday, and I've got it time-stamped in here. I've got it time-stamped, and I'll show you. So Sunday, November 7th, 2021, at 5:15 p.m., Earl Hopkins sends me a text message, and it says, Earl, please consider this written notification that I do not want to be posted or used in anything regarding the grind or any publications. This would be my business name or my personal name. As you will notice, I did not sign any documentation allowing this with Kevin or with anyone else associated with the grind. And if I have any of this used, I will contact my attorney and let this become a legal issue between you and them. 5:17, I said, who sent that? 5:17, TD Ward. 5:17, are you serious? That's how fast these messages are going between us. Earl said, yep, I'm on the road. He said, so did you get a signed contract from each builder, TD? I said, I will look tomorrow. How much video did he even send you? Earl said, not enough, but he's all over the rally videos and he gave an interview. He's a freaking winner. Earl sent me a message Monday. He said, I think it is suspicious how TD is such a hard ass over the rules, even though he was lobbying you to change them the night before. Your show, you can change the rules, is what TD Ward said. Sunday night, I'm at dinner with Uncle Bruno. I'm at dinner with Uncle Bruno's wife, my beautiful wife, and my little boy. TD Ward calls me. So I take the call and I go outside and I talk to him. He deleted me on Facebook and then he proceeds to yell at me. And he's yelling at me, and I'm in a fancy restaurant, but I'm outside. So he starts yelling at me saying that he went there under the influence. He was going to win $25,000 and that I changed all the rules and this is bullshit. And I told him during that 35-minute conversation, could have been longer. I was like, dude, I did exactly what I said I was going to do, stuck to the rules that I said I was going to do. That's what I did. I didn't change them. I told you Thursday night when you brought it up, I didn't feel comfortable about it. I wanted to talk to some people, but I think I'm going to stick to the rules. The funny thing is there's witnesses that heard that. There's witnesses that heard him bring it up and him start it. Anyway, back to Sunday night, we're having dinner and doing this, that, and the other. He's pissed off like a son of a bitch at me. I finally get off the phone. I go back inside and I have an amazing dinner at Perry Steakhouse. If you guys don't know, you should know. I'm livid. I go home, try to go to bed. I didn't sleep at all Sunday night because I was I could not believe it was TD Ward after the last 2.5 years of trying to build this guy up, get people to get in his corner, know that he's a badass bike builder, know that he is capable of doing all these things and everything. And to have this guy turn on me so hardcore, turn on me to the point that he sends a message to the videographer, which is Mr. Earl Hopkins. Then he's basically, he didn't cuss me out, but he was screaming and yelling at me over the phone. I could not believe that somebody would do that to me that I considered such a friend. After everything I've said, everything I've done, the whole 9 yards. Fast forward to Monday. I get up in the morning, 7 a.m., and I take Mr. Bruno and his beautiful wife. I take them to the airport all the way across town. I drop them off. And I come all the way back home. And I pulled up in my driveway, and TD Ward calls me. Calls me on the phone. And I'm getting lit up about it again because I can't believe this happens. So TD Ward calls me, and he goes, hey, man, I need for you to understand that I'm going to get a lawyer and I'm going to sue you for breach of contract. I'm about to give you guys my exact demeanor while he was talking to me the whole time. I was like, okay, that's cool. What are you going to sue me for? He said, well, because your rules clearly state, and he text messaged all this shit to me. I'll show it to you guys if you need to see it. He text messaged me and he's like, well, if you look at your rules, it clearly states 21 or more people. It's going to be 65% for first, 25% for second, and 10% for third. But if there's 20 or less, it's a winner take all. Now, let me stop right there. If you read that contract legally, it's not a contract, but anyway, it's a rule sheet. But if you read it verbatim for what that is, yes, it can be misconstrued that if there was 21 or less, it would be a winner take all. But I told him, I was like, it says in the rule right above that, which is rule number 15, if I'm not mistaken, it says per class. And it repeatedly says per class. I said, and the other thing is, TD Ward, I just said TD. I said, the other thing, TD, is you never even signed a rule sheet. You never sent me a rule sheet. I said, but respectfully, if you're going to sue me, you should actually technically be disqualified. Well, why? I followed the rules. I was like, No, technically you didn't, because if you look at the first number 5 and number 6, it clearly stated you have to send in a 5-minute video explaining who you are, why you build, and why you want it in on this show. And then the next rule says you must send in 3 to 5-minute videos throughout your entire build off, so there's proof that you built it. You never sent anything. And I've got proof. Earl Hopkins doesn't have any video footage from him that I know of. And if he does, it's none of that. I said, so technically you should be disqualified. You need to give me the $7,500 back, because per the rules that you're calling a contract, you're disqualified. But then I started thinking after that. So anyway, so I just told him, I was like, dude, I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to fight with you. I'm not even going to get upset about this. You just got to do what you got to do. I mean, if you feel this is worthy enough that you want to get a lawyer and sue me, I'm not going to get a lawyer. I'm not going to fight back. You want to sue me? Take my fucking bikes, take my house, take my business. I said, man, you do what you got to do, bro. I'm not upset with you. I knew somebody would throw a fit with this amount of money. I just had no fucking clue it was going to be you. I thought I knew you better than that. He follows that up with, well, Kevin, you do know, you know me. You know I'm a good person. I said, whoa. No, sir. I don't have a goddamn clue who the fuck I'm talking to. I don't know who you are. I thought I knew who you were, but I don't know who you are. So let's be real clear about that right now. I don't know who you are. He said it's the principle. It's the principle of this. I was like, man, shit in one hand, get your principles in the other, and they equal about the same amount of weight. Nobody cares about your principles, just like they don't care about my principles. What they care about is themselves. That's it. The done deal. Done. But I stayed calm, and I was polite, and I was nice. And I just told him, you got to do what you got to do, man. So I'm instantly checking things, looking at things. I went and got all of the paper. I got all the paper to make sure whose signatures I had, make sure I had everything I did. I went out in the trailer and I looked for the judging sheets from him and from David, from anybody. Well, it turns out everybody but David Covington and TD Ward, everybody took their judging sheets. They wanted to use those judging sheets for next year so that they can get some insight to what the judges are looking for and how they're judging. Well, once I'm looking, I was like, oh shit, I threw those away at the rally. And if anybody was at the rally, you know that there was a blue trash can right next to my booth, and they're in there. I threw them away. So I talked to Chris Moose, and I was like, Chris, who had the most points? Instantaneously, he goes, why are you asking? But just to let you know, it was David Covington. He had the most points. I was like, he asked me, he goes, why? So I told him the whole story about TD wanting to sue me. He goes, he can't sue you. He lost. If anything, you should get his $7,500 back and give it to David Covington if that's the rules he's going to apply. I said, well, it's kind of funny because at this point in time, we're going back to Monday afternoon. I said, TD's wanting to apply rule number 15 and 16 or 14 and 15, but he doesn't want to apply number, 4, 5, or 6. I mean, he's all over the board. In one hand, he wants the rules to apply. In the other hand, he doesn't want the rules to apply because he's screwing himself. And I told TD, I was like, why don't you just leave it alone, take your money, and just go? I mean, it's very obvious you don't want to be here anymore. So when he told me he was going to sue me that evening in the group messenger board that I made a long time ago, I told everybody that he wanted to sue me, and I was polite. And I said in the messages, please keep it professional, guys. I don't want any name calling, any bullshit. Well, you can't control grown men. So you can only imagine what the other builders were saying, Brian Barber. I mean, even Dustin Maben got on there and had something to say about it. So Tuesday gets here. And I can't believe my phone is blowing up as much as it is. I cannot believe everything's happening the way it's happening. I mean, and I never got involved. I never made comments. I never made posts. I didn't do anything because I wanted it to just stop, but it wouldn't. Once the machine is going, baby, the machine is going. You can't stop it. So anyway, you can go into the comments, all of you builders, all of the judges, everybody can go in there and you can see everything that was said. So anyway, the next day, I talked to my brother, Mike. Well, that was Wednesday. Well, Mike's kind of like my guardian. He does and says shit that I don't want to say, that, to be honest with you, I don't have the sack to say because I don't want to piss anybody off, because I feel like because of the logo, I need to stay neutral. I need to stay fair. I need to stay unbiased to try to do my best to represent this industry the best I can. Well, Mike made a video. Well, actually, let me back up a little bit. Tuesday, TD Ward made a video and put it up on YouTube, basically explaining his position. Everything in the video, in my personal opinion, was a lie because it was contradictory to everything that he did Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And the funny thing is there's witnesses, there's builders, there's people that can back up and corroborate everything I'm saying. And even they know, if you go watch TD Ward's video, it's wrong. He's lying repeatedly. Now, I'm not here to do a he said, she said. All I'm doing is stating to you the facts from my point of view. It's just funny to me that everybody, even James Ozzie, has my back on this one. And he was disqualified. If anybody should be disgruntled, I would think it would be James Ozzie, but he's not. And that's why I said what I said in the beginning of the video. He has a lot of character. Dude's a cool dude. He's solid to me. He's a fucking jokester. Don't get up in your feelings with him, but he's a man of character. So anyway, after this video goes up, my brother realizes that you can't comment on the video. You can't do shit. He made the video with no comments because apparently he didn't want anybody else having an opinion on his video. He just wanted to post it, let you know his point of view, and then shut you down. There's been some posts made. There's been comments made, all this, that, and the other. But it's funny. The next day, he calls me because my brother made a video. My brother also made a post. And he went back and forth with TD Ward. For fuck's sake. I mean, even Warren Vesley got on there and made a comment. I'll wrap this up real quick because we're at the end of it, actually. So the next day, yesterday, TD Ward text messages me and stuff, and then tries to call me when I'm getting off work, and I can't take phone calls while I'm driving inside of a plant, so I don't. I told him I'd call him later. Well, I called him later, and we were talking. The funny thing is, his whole demeanor changed. Now he's being calm. Now he's just talking. And now all of a sudden it's all about, well, I just wanted the money to go to a charity. I was like, it was never set up that if a participant couldn't make it, that their money would go to a charity. It was always set up that if they couldn't make it, their fucking money goes to the winner. It stays in the pot. I never said it was going to go to a charity. But the whole thing is this. It's dead now. TD Ward text messaged me last night after my brother made his video and they went back and forth. And I'm going to read this to you guys because I want you guys to understand something. Okay, so just bear with me for a second. I'm going to read this stuff to you because I want you to hear what went back and forth between me and TD. And I have screenshots. I can prove it to you guys. Okay, so let me find the beginning of what it was just real quick. And then I'll read it to you back and forth, the whole thing. Okay, so yesterday at 10 p.m., TD Ward, right here, Right there. You can see it right there. Right there. 10 p.m. So TD sends me a text message and said, I pulled the video. My family received death threats tonight. I am done with your drama group. Leave my family alone. I said, I haven't done or said anything. Who made death threats? He said, someone contacted my 11-year-old son and said, I have everyone blocked and they're coming to get me and him. He's all shook up. This is absolutely ridiculous. I spoke up and now I have death threats. I said, who? Who would contact your kid and how would they have his information? He said, if I'm brought up anymore, I will turn over to the police. My wife is upset and so is my son. I have no idea. I guess his Facebook was not private. I said, I would absolutely contact the police. Whomever did this needs to be in jail. He said it was an Oklahoma prefix that called him. I wish to God I never went to this show. What a mess. I said, I wish everything would have just been done when they announced the winners. I wish it would have been good enough. He said, I should have never said a thing. I did just because I was mad. I should know better than to get involved. Some of these people are absolutely crazy. It's stupid motorcycles, not worth jail or death. I said, absolutely, 100%. He said, I got to go. My wife is crying. I said, okay, it's done with now. That's it. But just to let you people know, I'm done with it, but I'm not getting rid of a goddamn thing. I'm saving everything. I'm saving it all. The reason I'm saving it all is because I want to make damn sure that if anything happens in the future, it can't come back on me, because all I did was state the facts. All I did was try my fucking best to bring a hell of a show to the industry, a show where you can say, I am the best of the best. This is a show where you can make money. It's not just a trophy. Trophies are great, man. I'm going to tell you right now, they're awesome to sit on a shelf and look at and appreciate and bring back memories of what you did, where you were. I appreciate trophies, but I wanted something a little bit bigger. And I'm going to tell you what right now, because of all this shit, next year is going to be no class, open class, freestyle. Which means I don't care what you build. I don't care how you build it. It's one against them all. And I will start all of that shit in December, because I don't want to do it right now because I'm tired of it. I just want to lay it to rest, and I want to bring some other people on here. So let me right now, if you want to come on real quick with me and you want to talk just a little bit, not all night about it, you want to say a little bit about it, just let me know, man. Oh, and that's the other thing, which I'm still thinking about it, but I'm also thinking open class, no class, freestyle. If you built a bike 5 years ago, man, I'm thinking I'm probably going to let you in, because if you think a bike that's 5 years old that people have already seen over and over and over and again is going to be enough to build against something brand new when they've already seen what you've done, that might just be on you, Big Daddy. Oh, Texas most hated. Hashtag Texas most hated. That's all I'm saying about that. So let me go on and do this real fast, because there was a request earlier. Let me go on and make this happen real quick if I can find it. Y'all, give me 2 seconds, man. I'm having to send a message. And FYI, for those that are watching, if you can see it, we were up to 144 viewers tonight. which is badass. So to all those people that claim I only get 30 watchers or 30 viewers, kiss my ass, motherfucker. Love it. Texas Most Hated. Oh, that's such a good one because I'm fucking from Texas. It's good. So I sent Louis Bailey an invitation to come on because I'm sure everybody wants to hear from Louis Bailey. So come on, Louis. Come on down. But anyway, I don't want anybody being pissed. I just want you guys to know I love all you guys. I love the fact that you're builders, and I love the fact that you guys believe in me. And fuck yes, we are doing it next year. We're going to make it even fucking bigger because we're going to have the support of the Lone Star Rally behind us this next year. It's going to be epic. You'd be crazy not to get into it. Oh, man. Here we go. Nick, it's... You should cuss more. Shush. I know tonight I should put X-rated in the title, but damn it, I forgot. Bring him on topless. Oh my God, Logan, I love you, dude. Logan, hug your mom and dad for me, dude. You have great parents, bro. Some of you dudes need to step away from the Lunchables. I don't know who I'm talking about, but some do. I missed the show. Basically, you said we learned over the weekend that there's some soft ass dudes out there. Sure, that's good. I did start early tonight because I knew it was going to be a great one. I love the fact that you still haven't been to the shop, dickhead. I'm going to assume that's just specifically about me, Mr. Brooks. So you're right. I still haven't been to the shop, and I am a dickhead. Richard Cranium. Let's go, Brandon. Oh my God. Oh my God. So let me guys tell you something. I met someone this weekend that I just have to tip my hat to because he's a cool motherfucker, and that is Mr. Rocky Seaman. No, I do not know this kid's last name. I don't even know if Rocky's his real name, but I know he is cool. He is so cool, man. He's so chill. You guys, if you don't know him, you got to go follow him on Facebook because I'm telling you, he posts up some funny shit, and it's pretty. You just gotta enjoy the dude. So everybody, let's welcome Mr. Louis Bailey to the show.
What's up?
What's happening? So,
same old shit.
What you got to say? Because everybody wants to know what happened to you.
I missed that party.
He said, I missed that party. It was a pretty good party, man.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
Those Level Up audio towers are badass, dude.
Yeah, I wish I could have made it.
That's okay, man. That's okay. So, anyway,
had a little snag.
He said I had a little snag. But is that all we're gonna get? Come on, you asked to be on here. I need some. What else do you want to tell us? It doesn't have to be about that. I mean, it could
what I wanted to tell them is they're damn lucky Logan didn't let us in that damn contest.
Maybe. Maybe. The way they were judging those bikes, man, it was off the chain. I've never seen people take so long and go over bikes so well. And I've seen a lot of bike shows judged. I've never judged, but just one.
No, they did a great job. There was great bikes too.
Yeah.
Great bikes. I liked Logan's. I liked Covington's. They're both great bikes. I was just giving them shit. I love the wrap job on Logan's bike. Whoever wrapped that damn thing, I'm telling you.
I'm putting his comment up when he comments.
Did a hell of a job on that wrap.
So that's one thing I do want to say to Logan is when he said he was going carbon fiber, I had no idea that's what he meant. That's a pretty badass carbon fiber job. I mean, there's no way to it was badass.
Yeah, I knew Logan would bring something big. He always does. Dude's a great builder. There ain't nothing,
Yeah.
Can't take anything away from him, that's for sure.
No. And God, I'll tell you what, he was on the phone with me Saturday morning. He's like, I'm on my way. If I have to burn this motherfucker down, I'm going to be there. He had so many troubles getting there, but he successfully rode that thing into the booth, and I was like, wow, holy shit. I was very impressed with it.
Yeah. And I knew Covington's would be spot on. You know, his you wouldn't expect anything less than from him. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I wish we could have been in there, but it is what it is. Can't do nothing about it. And there's always next year.
So I will tell you guys this because you're on here, because I don't think you heard, but Chris was talking to the owner of the Lone Star Rally right after we handed out the money. Yep. She had no idea who I was. She had no idea how much money we gave away. But as soon as she found out, she instantly said, nope, next year, y'all are going to be a featured attraction. So they're putting us at Tinley Park, right there on the Strand, where the big area where the Cycles in Motion show was, I think is what it's called. She goes, yep. Y'all get that whole thing, and we are going to promote the hell out of y'all. So I know next year is going to be way better just simply because of that one conversation.
Yeah, it's going to be another great rally. We had a blast. I'll tell you though, them cops were not playing.
Oh, them cops were not bullshitting this year, not even a little tiny bit.
I'm all beat up.
I heard you tripped, because those steps are like what, 18 inches tall? I just heard that you tripped. What happened to you?
Well, I don't know. I don't remember everything, but my ankle's swollen, my fucking shoulder's swollen,
Truthfully, man, you're okay. Everybody's okay. It's all good, man.
It was a good time.
Well,
but we look forward to it. We look forward to everything we got coming.
So are you getting excited for Lucky 7 Houston? Because if I'm not mistaken, it's coming quick.
There's a couple coming quick. Oops.
What? A couple shops?
Yeah, we got some stuff coming.
How can you have more than one Lucky 7 in Houston?
No, it's not Houston. It's another one.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant Houston.
No, but Josh is doing a great job. So
your boy, look what your boy said.
Which one?
The side chick beat his ass.
Oh,
PJ
boy.
said that.
I bet he did.
Side chick beat his ass.
Yeah, there's a lot of stories out there. That's for sure.
I'll tell you what, man.
You know, and I just, what? I talked to a guy yesterday or 2 days ago. He said, why are you, because you that idiot from over there, just flapping his lips. And he said, why are you fighting with idiots? I think about it. I'm thinking, that's true. Why am I fighting with fucking idiots? A guy who wishes he's been trying to copy everything I do for so long, and I'm here arguing with him. So
I think a lot of people secretly try to copy what you do simply because you
look at you got Scotty, you got Alan Jones, you got Jesus, come up with your own fucking ideas, guys. I mean, Jesus.
It takes time, it does. You didn't build the Sistine Chapel overnight. I mean,
no, but
my whole thing is this: after this weekend, I'm just like, you know what? I don't want that kind of drama anymore. I just hearing that my friend got hit, or hearing that someone else got hit, or hearing that there's just friction. Here's the way I look at it. If you want the friction, dude, all you got to do is get with me. I will find a way to make a venue, and we can all just fucking go let's go. And do it right if you want to do it. Because other than that, it's just lip service, and it's people. It's even me. It's ego. It's well, that dude said that about me. I got to go fucking kick his ass now. No, Derek said it the best. I don't have to react anymore, and I'm done reacting. Especially after all this shit with TD Ward. Dude, that broke my heart to know that he was the one that did all this, because it's like, why? I thought you respected me and what we were doing here, and it's a we thing. Just like you, Louis Bailey, it was me and you doing this show. It was me and Logan this show. It wasn't me. It was everybody doing this show. And this is how you're going to thank me for all of this?
I couldn't believe any of that. But, it's true. It's just, why give them the time of day? I'm just going to ignore the shit.
So my
like
new
Mr.
model,
Ozzy, Ozzy tried to get a ride. He's lucky I was up all night in jail, or maybe it would have been a little different, but I was a little tired that next morning.
I heard that you two talked, and I don't know if you worked it out, but at least you came to a gentleman's agreement to some degree.
Yeah. What am I going to do? Sit and argue with the guy all the time?
Yeah. And the funny thing is you guys would probably, if you could get past that, y'all probably be damn good friends. He's a great guy.
If he would have known me before he started all this shit, we probably would have been great friends, because he's just like me.
Well, I got a funny feeling y'all are still going to end up being friends. Y'all just got a whole year to get to that point.
Yeah. But no, it's all good. It's going to be great. I mean, this could be good. You get 20 people in here, it's a lot of money.
Well, I've already got, I could say their names, but I'm only going to say one of their names because he confirmed it. I told him I'm going to screenshot this shit, so don't back out. He's got one person that he has to confirm with, but Scotty Roberts did say he liked what was going on. He wanted to be a part of it next year. So
we'll run him over. I mean, no one really cares. We're not worried about him, but if you want my money now, I think I'm good for it. We'll be in for you.
Well, I do. The only thing I'm actually curious about is when I make the new rules, I'll be doing it in December, and then I'm going to put the rules out there January 1st. Is whether or not I want to try to take under another documentary, because I'm going to tell you right now, Louis, when you see what Earl has done, you need to submit some video footage.
I know
y'all were in it.
It's hard, and we're gonna have to manage our time a lot better for this. I think that's probably what all of these builders ran into, is just a time management issue.
Well, it's hard. I mean, dude, no offense. So one of my friends, as everybody knows, Lonnie Rebels, he went through a lot of shit starting literally in February.
Yep.
And it never let off until September.
Yep.
And somebody said something about him, and that was the one time I almost hit somebody, is because don't you dare fucking talk about these people that you don't even fucking know, that you don't know what they went through. This motherfucker almost died. He got COVID and it spread to his fucking brain. So don't you dare sit there and say he's a shitty builder or a piece of shit because he didn't show up. You weren't in his fucking shoes.
Right.
So I know that there's more people coming, and I know that this next year has the possibility to be 20 to 30, I'll say.
Well, you're going to have to limit it at something, but yeah, I think you should definitely, it's going to have 20 or 10 in each one or 15 in each one or whatever you do, but
there's no more each one. It's just one class. Just one.
Oh, it is now?
Bring what the fuck you want. Yeah, I've discussed it with a couple of people that I trust, and everybody's like, dude, after looking at the bikes that were here, it wouldn't matter. The way that they were judging, they weren't. You're not competing against somebody else. You're competing to the judge. The judge, when he looks at it, you're competing that you hit every detail flawlessly, so that they are like, man, this dude's point system is just fucking up there. He just wins. But I mean, dude, think about it. If you get 20 builders in it, 20 would fit in Tinley Park, but that's $50,000. And you can eat a bag of dicks if you don't think that's enough money to win. If that happens and there's 20 builders and it's one person that wins all of it, that will be the largest cash payout in motorcycle history for a bike show.
Yeah, and I don't know how, I don't understand how it couldn't be filled with 20 people, 20 builders across the country to do that.
Well, what it takes is it takes people getting in. It just takes people saying, you know what, I'm going to do this. It's $2,500, but I'm going to do it. Because last year, I literally at one point in time, I counted up 23 people that were going to be in it, just names from text messages and messages on Facebook. I thought we were going to get a shit ton of money. It just didn't happen that way.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I think so. When does it start again if you do it again?
So without anything being official, this is not official, people. Fucking get out of your feelings. It's just me discussing shit. I'm thinking about everything has to start January 1st. That doesn't mean you have to start building January 1st. It means that's the start date that year. Okay. As you know, hardly anybody started in January, February, March, April, or May. People started in June, July, and August. But I figure if we start January 1st and can get everybody down there and hopefully get everybody to do the footage correctly, just send the footage. You could be a part of a badass documentary. And I'm telling you, with the footage that Earl has now, with what he's able to do with what he's currently got, it's going to be enough of a teaser. I think people are going to be like, well, fuck yeah, he can do that. Hell yeah, we're going to do this, but it takes crowd participation, doing the right thing to make the right thing happen.
That's a good guy too, that Earl.
He really is. And I'm so happy somebody this weekend actually pulled him aside and said, hey, dude, I want to work with you on making me a website. I love it when people I'm associated make money off of other people I'm associated with. It just works out better that way. So I'm happy that that's working for him.
Yeah, he's a real nice guy.
He really is. I've known that cat literally since he was in 7th grade.
I bet it's gonna look pretty nice. But yeah, we're excited. We'll do it again. It's hard. We're just gonna have to plan a little better. I didn't do a very good job of it. So
hey, you know what? For the first one, man, it was about par for what I saw. My best friend, and I love Troy to death. He told me, he's like, dude, you don't have any signs. You don't have any advertisement. You don't have this. And I told him, I said, dude, we were stuck with what we've got. But next year, now I know. Now I know what I need to do to make it the best it can be. I'm going to start talking with the Lone Star Rally literally in January to figure out exactly what we're going to do, how we're going to do it, and what's going to be advertised by them and what can be advertised by me.
Yeah, you get that many people, $50,000. They should definitely advertise the shit out of it for you.
Well, yeah, because they will be known as the rally with the largest amount of cash prize in history.
Yeah.
Oh, but I think they would.
Well, good. Well, other than that, I think everything's good. Oh boy, what are you smiling at?
So Scott, I've done custom building for 32 years. They will never be done early. And it's true. You can't even lie about that.
Every Scott knows. Every damn rally, we're working on the shit as we're pushing it. We know a year before of every rally, and we're still working on them as we push them in the trailer every year.
So one thing I did ask, since David Covington walked away with $17,500, I asked him, I was like, were you going to do it again next year? And he told me, he goes, man, Sturgis is really a huge thing for us.
Yeah, it is.
It's hard on us to do that, to make that commitment. And I specifically said, if you're not going to be in it, would you be willing to judge it? And I think he could possibly be a pretty good judge too.
Oh, I think he would be too.
So maybe he doesn't get in it, but then he judges for us. So
I'm still looking for Curly. I want to do a little one-on-one.
I sent him the text message. That's all I can do.
He's scared.
Well, it is what it is. So, oh my God. So Facebook stopped the live feed. I guess they have rules now after a certain amount of time, but YouTube and my personal page, I think it's The Grind is still going.
Oh, is
it? But anyway, it's okay. But yeah, dude, so that would be really badass if you guys get into it, and we can I would like to see 20 or more get into it this year.
I think I don't know how they couldn't.
Well, there's a couple of people that said they wanted to get it last time, and I was like, whoa, really? Okay. Well, I think they were waiting to see if it was really going to happen and play out the way that it's supposed to play out, which it did. So you can't say Kevin kept the money or ran off with the proceeds or kept any of it.
You did the best you could with everything. I saw zero problems with anything that you did. That dude, I'm not going to talk about it. It's just crazy. Crazy how any of that even came up. A guy that won is complaining.
Yep.
It just doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't. But that's okay. We're going to fix it. We're going to change the rules up a little bit. And I think next year is going to be really, really big. And if there's anybody out there that wants to sponsor T-shirts for next year, get with me now, because Aaron Crispin did a hell of a job. We've got T-shirts for sale, $20. I've still got a couple American Drag Seats hats. We've got stickers for sale. I've got one 4-foot by 4-foot grind new logo banner for sale. I've got the
how much is the banner?
I think it's $50.
Just send it to me.
It's just the grind banner. It's all it is. 4-foot by
How
4
big
foot.
is it?
4-foot by 4-foot.
Well, then I'll just take it and hang it up.
I'll send it to you. But we do have stuff. I'm in the process of getting this banner replaced because, no offense, all these sponsors are getting more advertisement. I want to get the new banner done, clean all this stuff up, and actually try to start putting more money back into it. But I'm going to need to start getting something out of it.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So, well, cool, bro. Anything else you want to say?
We're good. I'll probably see you in the next couple weeks down there.
Right on. Just hit me up in advance so I know that at least that one day I'll take off. We'll go
I'm gonna come down there and visit and see how everything's going. I know he's doing a pretty damn good job. So, have you been over there yet?
He just called me a dickhead because I haven't. It's like, well, dude, I mean, have you not seen what I've been doing? I've been busy as shit. I don't have time to go over there. But I do think, don't tell Josh, but I think I might slide over there this weekend for an hour or two.
Yeah, it's a nice place.
Right.
All right, I'll end up seeing you the next couple weeks.
All right, brother. Go have a great night, man.
All right, thanks. See you. Bye.
Bye. Okay. Before I close this one out, because it was an hour and a half, I would like to make a special request on behalf of Ricky Brewer and everybody over at Bloodline Cycles. Please keep Ricky in your prayers. He was in a bad motorcycle wreck, and he's got a long line of some surgeries ahead of him. And I don't care if you don't like Scotty and you don't like Bloodline, that's okay. The human being, Ricky Brewer, was in a bad motorcycle wreck, and bikers stick together. So keep him in your prayers, guys. We wouldn't wish that shit on anybody. So just do that. But anyway, man, thank you guys for watching. 2021 is over. Let's talk about the good. Let's forget the past. I don't want to bring up TD Ward's name anymore. I don't want anybody bashing him or nothing like that. It is what it is. It's a learning curve. We figured some stuff out. We can say thank you so that he helped me figure some things out. So next year may go off without a hitch, and let's just be appreciative of that. If you know of anybody that's sending him hateful messages and shit like that, please, you guys stop it. Cut it out. You wouldn't want that shit done to your family. Don't do it to his. We just parted ways, and we got to be respectful, man. So let's just do that. But anyway, oh, hi, Miss Black. How you doing? It's good to see you. I love that woman. I love her husband too. They're great, great, great people. Anyway, so you guys share this video, share this one, share all of them. Okay. And support each other, be there. Try to put some of the hostility and the shit from last year beside. Let's start 2022 and make it badass. We have enough issues going on in this world without making more over motorcycles. But anyway, I love you guys. Thank you.